And we're live. Another edition of the Johnny and Gene Show with John Alite, Gene Borello. I'm Felix Levine, and our guests today, Snow, Billy, and Prince. Thank you guys for taking the time to come on the show today.
Thank you for having us.
Welcome us, right.
Facts.
So I know John has a couple things right off the bat he wants to say, and then I know Gene has the first question for Snow after.
Well, I want to dedicate the show to, again, to all the kids that keep getting killed. And I'm not talking about young adults. I'm talking about children. And the last one was Darius Sessoms from North Carolina. He killed a little 5-year-old boy for being on his lawn with his bicycle. See, what I want to say is, and because everybody's always talking about race, this ain't about race. This ain't about he's black, he's white, the other kid's white, this guy's Spanish. Don't matter. We're talking about kids. And these politicians, left side, right side, they need to do something about all these kids getting killed and get serious. Stop talking politics. Talk about these kids that are gold of this country. So there's another young baby in St. Louis with a mom. There's a reward out for people who killed them. I says, that shit's got to stop. People got to stop talking nonsense, stop talking race, talk real like we sit here and talk real. So I want to dedicate it to all those kids and hope the politicians are listening to this shit, get real and start doing something about all these kids getting killed.
Amen. It's a fact.
Yeah, it's a fact, though, man.
That's
Definitely crazy,
some real
man.
stuff right there. I wanted to open it up because I wanted to try to explain to people how maybe it's similar or it's not, but in the mob life, right? When you make a move on somebody, a lot of times within the organization or what, it's usually your friend hitting you, setting you up. I was sent to hurt somebody, a friend of mine, and it was easy because he came to meet me. He trusted me. Now, when they made a move on you, I don't know exactly how it went down or what the story was, but was it someone you trusted? Were you set up? Were you lured somewhere? I just want to know exactly how it went down, and if you could share that.
Yes. All three and above. I was set up. I wasn't lured there because I was already en route there. But yes, I was definitely set up, and it was definitely a family member of mine. And it was two family member of mine that was actually in on the hit. One of them my security, and another one a real close family member, and other things he was utilized for in the past and things.
So your guard was down.
Yeah. My guard was all the way down because for beginners, we met at a location that's owned by another family member of mine. And the cameras was supposed to be off when we got there, but the cameras wasn't off. And as the documents read, I was also with someone that was part of another sector that had their hands involved as well. So it was all, like a big conspiracy because, you had Tekashi putting his orders in. Then you had other people who was carrying out the orders involved. So it was like everybody was in one, you know what I'm saying? So if I could bring you to the night, we, let me see, my memory is kind of a little off, headshots that do that to you, kind of throw you off. But we met at the bar, at one of my other family members' bar. We had some drinks, had some eats. We talked. I had to handle some business. I went to count some money. I actually went downstairs in the basement and left them in the section, counted some money. But what saved me, with that, they thought I had a gun on me.
Okay.
Because I had a gun on me at the time, but I had tuck it off because it was like, why I ride around in a car with all this money and 3 firearms.
And people you trust.
Right. I'm with people I trust, so I don't need my firearm because I'm the driver. So I put my firearm up, retrieved the duffel bag. When I came up the stairs, they already had the plot already set in. I was going to my house, dropped the duffel bag off, then we was going to proceed to the W Hotel. And as I was coming up the stairs with the duffel bag, my cousin, the one who actually pulled, one of the shooters that actually pulled the trigger, he asked me, he yelled out. He said, "Yo, big homie, you got your gun on you?" And I was like, yeah, come on. Like I brushed him off. saying yeah, but at the same time, brushing them off. So that kind of saved my life. And I say that because the hit was supposed to go down in the car. You know, the hit was going to go down. At first, the first hit was supposed to go down right there by the bar on the side of my family funeral home. But I guess, as I look at it now, when I parked and these guys got out, they must have called it off because it was too much activity at that moment. So when we went into the establishment, they must have regrouped, you know, with the hit, saying, okay, cool, we're not going to do it here because it's too much police activity on the street because the precinct is right down the block. So the regroup of the hit took place while I was downstairs, and they was going to do it in the car. But once they figured I had the gun on me, that threw the plan off.
Right.
Now, when I'm in a car, and I know this is real because I looked behind me and I seen the guns being removed, but I didn't think anything of it. You know, this is regular protocol at this point right now, especially where we at, getting close to the location is, you know what I'm saying? So this is kind of like protocol. So I'm not paying no mind to it or anything. You know, it's nothing. This is regular activity. So when I get out the car, I went to proceed to the building my people's own and my mother owned. And as I was talking to one of the residents of the building, I seen my cousin come on the side of me. And I seen a gun, but at that time it was like, you know, can't really do nothing. I'm just like, all right, cool, we got the drop. And I just seen the orange fire come out the chamber. I just turned my head. I ain't really turned my head, I could see it out my eyes, so I seen it, boom. It didn't drop me right then and there, but it dropped me to my knees, and I was going down. And as I was going down, another shot came, boom. And that's what put me down. Not the first shot, it put me halfway down, but the second shot put me down. And I was out for about 7 minutes. But someone else there too. He got away. They shot at him about 13 times.
Wow.
He got away. And I got up. I couldn't get up the first time, but it was like, you know, it felt real heavy. So I said, nah, I gotta get up, man. I can't lay right here. I gotta get up. So I pushed up and I got up on my feet and I just started walking, you know, because it's a very dark block. This is a pitch black, probably one of the darkest blocks in Bedford-Stuyvesant at this point right now. It's lit up now, you know what I'm saying? They got a lot of lights over there now, but this is one of the darkest blocks in Bedford-Stuyvesant at the time. So it's pitch, it's just dark. I get up, I start walking. I get to Bedford Avenue. Obviously, people see I'm bleeding, you know, because there's blood everywhere. But first, before I get to Bedford, I make a phone call to somebody, and I say, yo, I think I'm shot in my head. She like, yo, you got a lot of blood on your face. Yeah, you got a lot of blood on your face. I said, yeah, I think I'm shot in my head. So I hangs the phone up. I didn't know I was shot in the neck. I knew I was shot in the head because my finger went into the back of the hole.
Wow.
So I didn't know it. The neck at first. I said, all right, shot me in my head, then you know your ears is ringing, you off balance.
Right.
So I know it's a headshot. A neck shot ain't gonna really do too much. That the headshot gives you all the imbalancing. You know what I mean? So anyway, I get to the gas station. I look at the gas tendant man. I'm like, yo, I make a gesture like with my hand, call an ambulance. So he throw his hand up, he calls the ambulance. At the time, they don't come right away, so I'm just walking around the gas station. You know, I'm angry at this point because I'm like, no one shoots me in my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck shoot me in my head? You know, of course I'm pissed off. You know what I mean? Like, No one shoots me, man.
Do you really realize that, man, every second that's passing, you could die? You're just sitting there getting shot in the head and the neck.
Yeah, like
Were you thinking leveling up
I
with
wasn't.
other?
No, I wasn't thinking dying, yo. I wasn't thinking dying. I was thinking I was more angry, and I think being angry, I was so angry because I'm like, I'm angry, like, I'm angry because of the shot. I'm angry because of the noise. I'm angry because, again, I know I'm going to jail. I'm on a run at the time too, so I know I'm going to prison. You know what I mean? Not only am I getting shot, but I'm also going to the penitentiary. So it's like a whoopee whammy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, they trying to find out who I am, and I'm being in coherence with the whole situation. But my ex-wife is a captain, and they know that. You know what I'm saying? So they calls her. They say, hey, listen, we got Shane here, but he's being incoherent. He's not telling us who he is. Can you verify who he is? She's like, yeah, that's my ex-husband. Boom, 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 blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? He's on the run, And they're like, all right, that's all we wanted to know. So I'm handcuffed, one arm to the gurney, both ankles are shackled, go to Kings County. But as we ride in Kings County, the doctors know to them they like, yo, he's not gonna make it. You got a spinal cord wound.
It's a headshot.
You got a headshot. This is not looking good right now. So the doctor's like, he's saying things thinking I'm not aware, but I'm very aware of what's going on at this time. He's like, yo, listen, if he makes it, he's gonna be brain dead, or he's gonna be paralyzed from neck down. So I'm like, yo, Doc, listen, Doc, you can't make that judgment, man. And he was kind of shocked to even hear me respond. You know what I mean? So I'm like, don't put that oxygen mask on me, any of that stuff. You know what I mean? That's what kills you. You know what I mean? In my brain, I don't need none of that. If I need the oxygen, then you apply it to me. If I don't need it, let me work. You know what I'm saying? So I got to Kings County. I was on another phone talking to somebody. I went and get off the phone, and they shot me with some stuff and put me out, ran me through the CAT scan. They seen a bullet in my head. They seen the neck shot. And, it was like, it's a miracle, man. Like, there's no way in the world you could be
What'd you get
alive.
hit with? What kind of gun?
A 38 in the head and a 9mm in the neck.
So you didn't get hit with a low caliber gun because I spoke to you. For people that don't know, I know you since you're 17.
Right.
I met you through a family member.
Right.
And I didn't see you again until about 2014.
Right.
And, man, you ain't alone. You got a lot of friends, for people that don't know.
Exactly.
And, we did a show last week about another friend of mine. He became an enemy of mine. We made up. We shook hands. He got shot in the head. And one of my best friends is a neurosurgeon out of Jefferson and Philly. And I was telling him your situation and what happened. And he said the same thing. It's amazing what you've been through. And for those fake typists, gangsters on these computers, that talk shit, guys like you, guys like Cookie, they took these shots and still out here talking and man enough to come out and reach a hand out and say, you'll accept an apology from Tekashi 6ix9ine. If he comes and sits with you, you're willing to talk.
Yeah,
that's what's cool about it. And not because we're friends, because I respect what you're doing, because a lot of people wouldn't be doing what you're doing.
Right. And I definitely, and we talked about that, if, sincere about, cause a lot of this we know was based off of his actions. Because like the judge said, this crew wasn't into any of that stuff.
Right.
Until you got involved. How we know that? Because we've been investigating them every day.
Right.
So we know when the level of violence heightened and when it lay dormant. When you got into the circle, it heightened. So we're not saying, you can't say you was a victim. Because Tekashi tried to use the victim card.
Right.
Like, I'm a victim, I was there, they took advantage of me. No.
But let me ask you a question. Do you think somebody was in his ear to make a move on you?
No.
No?
It wasn't, it was all for him.
Okay.
I did a podcast about him, right? This is when everything got out of control. When I was like, listen, man, the gang thing ain't for you. And I'm not, it ain't for you. This ain't the route to really go right now. You're already established. Now it's time to make a turn. But he fell in love with the culture. He fell in love of what he thought was his family. And when I blocked him for not coming on board, that angered him. And not only did I block him, but I did a podcast, to let a lot of my friends and associates know, like, I'm not supporting this madness. I'm not supporting his antics. I'm not back anything that these guys are supporting with him.
Right.
You know,
Well, you're
and-
looking out for him. You
right,
ain't
I was
hurting
trying to
him.
look out for him, you know, but he thought at the time I was trying to hurt him. Now he probably would see the bigger picture, like, wow, big homie was looking out for me, man.
But these are the same guys that tied him up and robbed them.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everything.
same.
Okay.
Yeah, these are the guys who he called on me.
Right.
So and you see an indictment, you know, per indictment, this is all public information that he called because, well, I was driving, I seen him. I'm like, listen, we got to talk. Got scared. He ran off. He called a whole bunch of people. Told me, yo, I'm going to put the bag on your head. I'm going to put the bag on. You know, that's like, when I
Yeah,
say
money
put
in
the
your head,
bag.
of course.
You know, this is what he's saying while he's running away. And I'm like, yo, listen, you bugging out. You know what I mean? This thing, this gang thing ain't for you, man. You know, and he got angry by that. But what made him really sanction the hit was when I did the podcast about him and called him, well, I basically said, I'm not down with the rainbow head piece of shit anymore. So when I said that like,
Well, now he stepped back. He's out of the life. He knows he's cornered back with the old people that he was involved with, you guys were running with. He sees the light, I think, but now he needs to shake hands and reach around the aisle and say, thank you for trying to save me.
Yeah,
I
that's what
fucked
needed,
up. I
right.
made a mistake. And Prince, I mean, you're in the background knowing all this shit going on. What's your opinion on this stuff that's going on?
Well, what situations? I mean, there's a lot of topics we're talking about.
Well, the overall, everything that happened when him getting shot, what Tekashi did with, you know.
You know, I feel that has to do with no leadership. I was just telling him, man, over there's no leadership. You try to build the house with no leadership and foundation, it's gonna fall, it's gonna break. And you try to give a bunch of street guys money with no leadership, this was gonna happen. And he was the only one. He was the foundation. I mean, and once you eliminated that, the house was bound to fall. It was only a matter of time. So, you got a bunch of crabs in a bucket, and this is what happens, man. And this is part of the gang culture, though.
Yeah.
Streets. There's a lot of snakes in the grass. There's backstabbing, and so being that Tekashi knew that and he got into the situation and ratted, says about his character. You know what I mean? But it's just a sad situation in the whole, man. But I applaud Snow Billy for forgiving him. You know what I mean? Because that shows a lot of from his behalf. You know what I mean? He has grown as a man. So I salute that. That to me, that's the, if anything, that's the biggest outcome of the situation. Him forgiving someone who tried to take his life.
100%. And you know what the show's about is really, I'm trying to talk real about the street from every culture, from our culture, mob life, street life, gang life, and kids to understand the treachery you just talked about. Have the honor that Billy has. Snow's got the honor to be a real man and say, listen, I'm
fact.
going to forgive you. I got the heart. I believe
That's
in
gangster.
whatever.
That's
It is
a real
gangster.
gangster,
It is
yeah.
gangster. And that's the message to these kids.
Yeah.
That I want to see that what kind of man he is, because my friend and me shook hands last week, 2 weeks ago, same thing, and we were enemies trying to kill each other. And until somebody makes that move, I ain't gonna respect him, but I respect him because he put that hand. And Tekashi, I spoke up for him at one time a couple months back for changing his life. You want to change your life, but you need to put your hand across the aisle, shake his hand, ask for forgiveness, and sit down and talk like a man, and then you'll be respected for changing your life and your future. Not just changing life because you got jammed up each way, but change your life because you mean it now and shake his hand.
Amen.
And Snow, I have a question
Facts.
for you.
Sure.
At what point did you feel like you could forgive him? I mean, did you have like a turning moment where it maybe
That's
went
a
from
good question.
resentment into
That's a very good question.
forgiveness?
Well, when I was in the hospital, I was like, I told the authorities when they was like, cause the lower authorities ain't know what was going on, cause they don't really share information back and forth. So the lower authorities ain't really know what was going on. They had an idea what was going on, but they didn't have full insight what was going on. So going off for the lower authorities, perspective, they like, hey, listen, if we find out this was a gang-related hit, we going federal on all y'all guys. But the lower authorities ain't know it was already federal. You know what I mean? So
They don't let them know.
right, they don't let them know. So at the end of the day, when
anything.
they telling me, yo, cause they kind of, I guess, through the whispers, they probably got a win. Like, yo, listen, that was a gang-related hit, man. You know what I'm saying? So
Back
when they
off,
asked
we're
me,
here already.
they say, hey, listen, you know who, you know, of course, because now they go to the establishment, they pull the cameras. But when the NYPD pull the cameras, they don't really know what's going on. But when the bigger authorities who know what's going on, they say, hey, listen, back off. We got this. We got the footage.
Right.
Let's stay out of this.
What about that shooting at the restaurant? Were you there for that?
No, I was on Rikers Island.
Oh,
Right?
okay,
Like
right. All right.
through all that time, I was, like I said, I went immediately went to Rikers Island right after the shooting.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So before all the touring and the antics started, I was already out the picture.
Okay.
You know, and but for your question, I already told them from the door, like on the hospital bed, I forgave him, like, you know, because you got to understand that I put work in, you know, I put a lot of work in my time in.
Facts.
I understood that, you know, what comes around goes around. Like, for instance, I've been waiting to get shot in my head probably since the age of 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it came around when I was 40. You know what I mean? Like, every day I embrace myself to getting one to the head ever since 15.
No, you a wild kid, a young kid.
Right.
When I
So,
knew you,
15 years on, I'm waiting. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, when is it going to come? You know, like, oh, all right, I guess it's going to come when I open my door. Because that's the most time you off point anything is when you put your key in your door.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of nights, even at 16 years old, that I had to embrace myself. Because when you put your key in your door, your back is completely turned unless you have a technique where you could put your key in the door, look towards the street, and at the same time hold your gun. But, you know, how many people was equipped to do that? You know, so sometimes you're going to slip. So even since a young age, you know what I mean? I was definitely waiting for the headshot. It's not, no, I was waiting. And probably waiting for it for so long and it happened has probably kept me alive because I was always anticipating it. You know what I'm saying? I used to always even think how would it feel once I get shot in my head? Like, would it feel like a scab? When you know how you get a scab, a big scab, and it start the heals and
Yeah.
it picks up? Well, I used to always think that's how the headshot felt. And that's how it actually feels.
Can I ask you,
So-
what was the pain like? Is it excruciating? Were you like,
No, it's
you?
there's no pain when it happens.
Hey, I got stabbed in the head, and then guys that see me get stabbed in the head, they put an ice pick through my head, and I don't know, it's a weird feeling. I didn't feel it either, and I looked at one of the guys, this guy Frankie Radici from the neighbor, and I said to him, I said, hey man, and he looked at my head and he was like, holy shit, and it was double the size, but I really didn't feel it, and then later on I dropped out. But, you know, I got stabbed up again, and then I got shot. So, you know, I know the feeling is not what everybody thinks it is.
Right. It's
I don't know if it's the adrenaline or what it
aftermath.
is.
Because my best friend, they had tried to kill, Albanians actually tried to kill us, and they shot my friend through the neck. He survived. His neck was this big,
Right.
and he was laid out for a while.
Well, that's the thing, because the blood coagulates in our head, and that's how you die. And we didn't. And me too. I didn't go because we're just. I guess you're mad. You're moving. Your adrenaline. And I did kind of what you did. I was looking for him. I don't want to let it go, and I wasn't worried about the hospital. Actually, when the ambulance came, I says, "Get off of me." And then, you know, they found out I got stabbed up a couple of times and whatever, and I didn't even know it.
And so what was the recovery like for you after?
Oh man, it's like, you know, I mean, well, I had to recover in prison, so it was a bad recovery, man, because I was on Rikers Island.
What building were you in?
I was in C95.
That's where I was.
Very nasty building.
What year was that?
Just now, about 2 years ago.
I was there from 2014 to 2019. I mean, 2014, 2016. I was there.
Right. I was just I was there for like about 6 months, you know, for the
Right.
fighting the violation. But you know, as we all know, Rikers Island, they have mattresses that's not made to lay on.
Oh God.
So that's what I was given, because I wasn't put in
Dark side,
No.
light side. Where were you?
I was in captain. I actually put me in the captain restraint house.
Okay.
That's, you know, the high classification.
High
house.
classification, yeah.
So they put me there.
Right.
Right. All these guys, you know, all these guys in here is
Charlie Rock was there. Just missed him.
I don't know. I know it was
The
a lot
rapper
of,
was there. Charlie Rock.
Oh,
he
all
was there.
right,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah,
all
yeah.
right. It was a lot. It was a lot of you know, in that high restraint house. It was a lot of big homies who I knew as little homies before they grown up now. So when I got there, you know, it was everything was good. It was just the living conditions for me was very poor because of the cot. You know, I'm shot. I got a neck brace on. I got a head wrap, and I'm laying on.
Well, you didn't get hit with a
man.
little bullet, man. You didn't get hit with a 22 or 25.
right.
I mean, you got hit
Hit
with
with a
strong,
9 or
high
38.
caliber, bullets.
Isn't it worse sometimes to get hit with low caliber though?
Well, low caliber, like,
Stays
you
in
know,
the- stays in there,
unfortunately,
right?
I don't want to talk
Right.
about how I
Right.
kill guys, but it stays in your head, it moves around.
Right.
So in one way, in one aspect, it's,
Right.
you know, you're luckier because it goes
Yeah.
through you, you know.
Yeah,
so,
the big ones just go through. The only
Yeah.
thing that made to stop the 38 was the scar, you know, because it happened right over my ear. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So when it hit here, it.
Ricochet.
No, what happened was they didn't have enough speed. They were so close
Right.
that it was just impact. It didn't have time to pick up. You know, like it wasn't like it was 4 inches away where the bullet had time to pick up. And
8 feet away,
kept
you're dead.
speed and
8
then-
feet away,
8 feet away,
it's-
you're dead. You know,
right.
because with impact. So
Right.
being so close and it just going boom and it's hitting and it's forcing the meat out. It's hitting, it's forcing it out. That's what I think. You know, what kept everything.
let me ask you something. I don't mean to cut you off. I mean, cameras here. You talk to Kosh yourself. What do you want to say to him?
You know, as for Tekashi, man, you know, he got to get back around the right people that had the right plan for him, you know, and he know I had the plan for him because he wouldn't be successful now, regardless of what he done and what he doing in the street when it comes to the business aspects of it. The right plan was situated for you. He detoured.
Well,
So he have to make this right by one, showing he's sincere, you know, to his fan base and a lot of other people who want to see the sincere in him and not see the antics that he's causing at this point. You know, he haven't, you know, yet showed any sincereness to
No
everything
remorse.
he's done. He haven't shown no remorse, and we all know, like, life is based off of remorse and getting back on the right track. So right now, he's not even on the right track.
Needs positive
You
actions.
know, so he got to right now sit with me and show the world that this thing could be, you know, fixed. Even though blood was shed, it could be fixed.
You know what? The people that don't know, and me and you had a lot of conversations about this, but you're really sincere about them because you had conversations about me telling me, if you got a way to reach this kid, tell him, because if he continues, somebody out there is going to try to kill him. And I don't want to see that happen because overall, you said he's a nice kid. You like him.
Yeah.
So, you know,
He's a
that's
good
really,
kid,
I
you
got to
know?
tell you, that's really commendable.
What I want to ask you, what is he really like behind this persona? He's a good kid. Like, what is he?
Yeah, he's Daniel, man.
Right,
He's-
'cause right-
he's not,
right.
He's nothing like this. You know,
Right.
this is the camera. God, this is for his entertainment.
Right.
This is the way, you know, as a lot of artists say, this is how I feed my family.
Right. Not talking down on him. He's not a street
Right.
guy.
No. He's
And good, and it's good that he's not a
Right.
street
He's
guy. It's not negative
right,
that
yeah,
you're not
right.
a
He's not
street
trying
guy.
to talk down. I'm saying he's not like
he's not a street guy.
he came up in the streets where he's
No.
out running and gunning. That wasn't his thing, right? That was
No. Hell, he wasn't running a gun. He probably dealt a little bit of heroin here and there because now he's from Bushwick. So, you know, that's the main, you know, thing they do out there. But like he's not in no street thing. You know, he just came over on a humbug. You know what I'm saying? Was out there trying to get, you know, some assistance in his career, get some, you know, notoriety. You know what I mean? And rather than that, like, he's not into it. There's been times that I had to hold his hand
Right.
and walking through a club. You know what I mean? Like, I had to really hold his hand because it was too crowded and there was too much activity. So he felt uncomfortable in several clubs. You know, and this is what he have to, and we got the videos. You know, this is what he have to understand, that if I held your hand in a night, you know, in a strip club, you know, then who was you know who was there for you.
Right.
You know who was there for you. That's why he can't never say nothing. That's why he can't say anything.
Yeah.
Because he know, I think he feel kind of embarrassed. You know what I mean? Like, God, the guy who was really there for me and wanted to see my career go in the right path, I try to kill him.
You know, and I honestly, like, I've been seeing what he's doing on social media right now, and I'm a little nervous for him, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, the mafia, like, we're a little watered down. Bloods, gangs, they're not watered down. They're still very violent, and I think the way he's walking around right now and with his security and stuff like this in these neighborhoods, I think he should chill out with that, man. You get the wrong kid that just wants to make a name for himself and just, you know,
Well, you get a young buck.
a young
They
buck, a young
spray.
kid, a young gang member, you know, they don't
Yeah,
care,
I
and
mean,
sees
these
this
guys
kid,
that are
you
walking
know,
with him are gonna-
and he's in
gonna
their
run.
face laughing at them.
Yeah.
It's like, you
I know.
know, he needs to chill out. I mean, he has a great life. He has tons of money, you know, beautiful, you know, girlfriend. What is he trying to prove? Do you understand? Like,
He's trying to catch. It's like catching that high right now. He's trying to cause as much damage because he know he already caused a lot of damage. So now he's like, let me just keep causing damage because I'm already in a hole. So he thinks, but how he get out that hole is by making amends with the person you tried to kill.
right.
When they was all in good grace of you. Your career wouldn't be where it was at if it wasn't for me because you tried several times and you didn't get anywhere. You made it happen when I put Guomo out. That's what made you hot. That's what made you who you is today. You tried the Your Way, all them other videos and music songs. It didn't go anywhere. When you did it my way, you got to where you at now.
You think he's bigger now than before?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I feel like...
Yeah.
He's big. Yeah, he's bigger now.
I feel like he's more famous now.
Yeah, cause
But it don't matter how famous he is. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to keep it right back to where it should be. He needs to come across the aisle, apologize to him. Even if he doesn't want to sit there and apologize, just talk it out, be a man, do something positive.
Right,
Show the
right.
kids out there, show the neighborhood, show every city, state,
right.
country, what this life's about. Because if you want to be an example, because you're an example. Now, he's an example whether he likes it or not, because he's in front of the world. So he needs to show everybody, lead by example, and be a gentleman, and say, hey, man, I could stick my hand out and be your friend again. Just like a lot of guys I'm bringing in here, doing the right thing for the sake of people that have kids, and the people I just brought up that lost kids, and other kids. So you do something positive, and your music, hey, it's something that's real positive, and it is.
People read these things, man, and they know, is in transcripts. People who've been shot behind your antics. You know what I mean? And you
I heard constantly people getting hurt over this.
Right. You haven't yet, your actions, as you stated, in federal court on the stand. When the prosecutor asked him, he said, do you know Snow Billy? He said, yeah, he did a podcast about me, calling me a rainbow head piece of shit. I got angry and I called all these guys and they came with guns and I tried to hold Snow Billy there. Like, his intentions. You see, no one made him try to hold me there. His intentions was to hold me there, so when they come with the guns to kill me there. But so it happened, everything broke up, and then they caught me 30 days later. But he said it like, I held them. I tried to hold them there, because they was coming with the guns, and you know what I mean?
Well, the problem with power is, whether it's legit power
right, and that's
or
what it
criminal
was.
power.
Is the power that he...
You got to be able to do it in a positive way.
They gave him so much power so fast, right? He was around all these shooters,
Of course.
He was around all these shooters, and he was able to manipulate them with wealth and fame.
Of course.
That they was willing, to turn for him. And this is what the judge stated. These guys wasn't doing any of this until you came into the picture. And that's what happened.
I'm surprised he got time served with leadership like that.
And Snow, do you think he'll ever make amends with you? If you had to make a prediction, do you think you'll ever sit across from him and he'll apologize to you and be sincere?
6ix9ine?
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, definitely. I think I'm at this point that he knows that I'm here for him for the good. You know what I mean? Even right now, we could clean this stuff up. It's still a chance right now to clean this stuff up. But to make that right, you have to come back to the person who made him. He's running around. He have no guidance. He didn't have no guidance. His girl can't. His girl can't guide him. The security can't guide him. The lawyers can't guide him. What he need to make this right, he got to come back. He gotta not even come back. He gotta make this apology sincere for the world to see it.
And for you on a personal level, obviously a miracle, and thank God that you're alive. But how do you kind of progress your life and trust people again? I know that's I can imagine that'd be very hard. How do you go from here?
Well, actually, I never had a problem with trust issues, man. I leave it in God's hands. I'm a firm believer in God. I have my God. I pray to my God. I talk to my God, man. And like with this incident, I knew I was going to get shot. I knew it. I knew it several weeks before it happened. But my God said, if you trust in me, You turn your back on your enemies, man. And like, I know people have their God, and I don't, I say my God because I have a different relationship with my God. I don't know how other people pray to their God. I pray to my God every day. When it's bad, when it's good, no matter what it is. If my God take my mother away, my mother's gone, he needed her, I'm all for it. My father's gone, he needed her, I'm all for it. If he take my kids tomorrow, if he need them, I'm all for it. Now, I'm not a person who gets angry at God because things ain't going my way. Things ain't going my way for 3 years, and I still praise them. If he took my mother away, listen, you needed her, you got her. All right, so my God, I pray to my God, and I pray heavily. That's why I'm able to walk around right now with 2 bullets to the neck and the head, because my God say, listen, you trust me. Don't trust that gun. Don't trust that shooter. You give your back to them, I got you, my son. And if you can show me that faith and that belief, I guarantee you I get you off that ground. But you have to take that right then and there. There's no second guessing, like, I don't know. Let me not. You got to have that much faith and belief, and you'll get up. You'll get up. I mean, and that's so, I'm cool with it, man. I'm not, I've been in the streets a long time. I've seen a lot. I've been in the streets a long time from a very early age, with some very bad guys. Bad guys. So when you hear them say follow protocol, when you hear them say we the mob, they say we the mob because I came from a mob organization. And then I took the same tactics I had with the crew I was with and applied it to my crew. So this is why we say we the mob. And the crew I was with when I was younger, it was rules and it was protocol. Like, you couldn't smoke, you couldn't wear your pants sagging down, you couldn't wear your shoelaces untied. It was a lot of rules, and if you broke rules, you was disciplined. Didn't matter, you was disciplined. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody in my crew went to martial arts, because we all knew one day we was going to jail. So we had a saying amongst not the blood crew I'm with, but the street crew I was raised under, that we all going to jail one day and we're going to check our guns in at the door. So we all went to martial art class just in case when that time came. So that's why a lot of people ain't understand when you hear Shotty and them saying, we the mob and follow protocol. That's because of what I brought to them when they was young. And for the crew I come from, like, protocol is very big. The do's and you don'ts. And I had them set of rules on me since I was 14, 15 years old with a monstrous crew that's come out of Bedford-Stuyvesant. You know what I mean? I was with them since I was young. And that's all I knew. I didn't know. I didn't come out the house as a drug dealer or a robber, or I came out the house as a gunman. I didn't come out the house. I don't know about selling drugs or robbing people. That never, I came out the house by taking orders. You know what I mean? And doing what the higher ups required for me to do. So
is that what, before I wrap it up for us guys, anybody that wants to reach me, it's johnalite.com website. John Alite officially is my Instagram. There's several out there, but I run that myself. And, we're talking about guys that were real from the street. All of us been shot up, stabbed up, Prince been shot, all of us, every one of us sitting here, and guys that we have on the show. And I'm just talking real shit about the street, and I want kids out there to know it. And you have a book, huh, Snow?
Yes.
Tell them what you got.
Definitely, we got the one of the most hottest hip-hop books on the shelves right now.
Talk about
we got
it.
Almost 1 million orders in for this book right now. 69 shots. The saga continues, the rise and fall of Tekashi 6ix9ine and the notorious Billy Badass record label and Treyway Entertainment, a visual into hip-hop gang-related music culture. The book was written because I wanted to show the youth, and that's why I said a visual into hip-hop gang-related music culture, to show the pitfalls for when you want to take this music and you want to implicate it with gang activity. Understand when to keep it reality and when to keep it, professional. And that's what kids have to see. They see him with the answers, but the book was give you the details from front and back on the labels. You know, like don't get it. You know, it wasn't a gang thing; it was a business thing, and this is what people overlook. No, it was these is labels right here. These
go straight, keep straight.
Right. You know, yeah. You know, shout out to the 3 Straight Lanes organization. Go straight, stay straight, keep straight. You know, for at-risk youth. You know, we show the youth that it's 3 lanes of life. Is the cemetery on your left, the lane of success in the middle, and the penitentiary on your left. If you don't go straight and you decide to make the wrong turn, you might not be so successful as
That's
us
the real
that's
message,
sitting right,
and that's the message, man.
sitting here right now. You know
straight
what I mean?
lanes,
Like,
man.
Yeah.
you know, 3 straight lanes, man. You might not be so successful. Like, you know, a lot of us then had almost I didn't have a life sentence. He didn't have a life sentence. This man had a life sentence. My brother didn't face time. You know, a lot of people don't come back off a life sentence, and a lot of people don't come back from the cemetery. So if you go straight, then you great. If you go left or right,
It's over. Dream, give us your Instagram and stuff.
Also, I wanted to say something. You know, a lot of people reach out to me a lot, and I answer everybody. I want to just let it know I'm open to anyone who wants to DM me and talk to me. My Instagram's GeneBoy666. I know there's 666 people ask me why I have that. My grandfather used to call me the devil child. That's all it was. I was bad when I was younger, so everyone understands that, all right? I'm not a devil worshiper, nothing like that, all right? So that's what it is, GeneBoy666. And, you know, like I said, as you contact me, kids, anybody, I'm open to it. I talk to them all day, and I continuously will, all right? So that's all.
Well, Snow Billy, Prince, thank you guys for taking the time.
Yeah, man, thank you guys for having us.
I know you guys are always welcome back on,
Yeah,
and we wish you all
definitely.
nothing but the best.
Yeah, you too. You too. You guys
Pleasure,
too.
appreciate
All right,
y'all,
guys,
my
man.
brother.
Yes.
Hey, man, don't
Thanks
mess
for
with us. We
coming
get
on.
you whacked. You heard?
Thanks for coming on.